So I initially, when I started this build, this house, I kind of said that I was going to be providing a lot of videos. First of all, like YouTube or the algorithm doesn't particularly want to like distributing these videos. For anybody that is really interested to see like the progress of the house step by step, or of my theater room, this is why I'm doing it. I'm kind of documenting it so if you want to, you can see it. It'll be on the channel. Since I haven't been posting the videos regularly, again, they've kind of like been lower tier, lower priority, given that, they hadn't done very well, and I'm just not motivated to put them up there. But in this video, I'm going to put out, I'm going to start from week 16 to now. So it'll be a little longer than a typical update video, but I think I'll cover everything in just one video and get it over with, as opposed to posting a bunch of videos, that's sort of outdated. So you'll see the normal progression a little quicker in just one video. Let's get started with the update. So this is about week 16 of construction, and as you can see, there's been a lot of progress that's been made in this room. Most of the progress has gone into the walls, of course. We have wiring ran throughout the room for all 17 of the channels that are going to be here, including 4 subwoofers. We did what we were going to do as far as for soundproofing. We did double drywall with a layer of this carpet glue in between each layer. That's going to help with keeping the sound from leaving this room, hopefully. Also, we're going to add a door, a soundproof door as well, which should help dramatically reduce the amount of sound escaping this room. Again, I want this room to be usable at all hours of the day. And obviously there are limits that can be done since I'm not running. Sorry for the noise, it's just construction still going on around here. There are limits to what can be accomplished as far as soundproofing, because I'm running HVAC system, like a traditional HVAC system, and the sound is just going to travel through the HVAC system vents, and I'm not going to run like in-floor heating. That's just an expense that I just don't want to do. So I'm just going to, knowing that there are limits to what I can do for soundproofing, I think what I did is pretty much is practical and it's cost effective, and I think it's going to be really good, given the amount of money that I spent. So as far as, I think we had to, just to do the extra drywall work, we're talking about almost $2,000 extra just for that. And the door, I was quoted at about $5,000 for the special soundproof door. So there's considerable cost to getting this room soundproof the way I would like it. The bed layer is going to have 12 gauge wiring, which is already ran through the walls there, as you can see. And I believe the ceiling speaker is going to have 14 gauge. I already bought all the amps that I'm going to use. I have 2 Emotiva amps, XPA3 Gen 3 amps. It's going to be powering all 17 of the channels in this room. And the processor I have not bought yet, because I'm waiting to see, if anything changes or if a new product comes out between now and before we move. Yeah, again, I'm going to be running 200 watts per channel to the bed layer, about 65 watts per channel to the ceiling speakers, which is adequate, I think. I already purchased the ceiling speakers for this room. This is going to be a definitive technology build with all definitive technology speakers, because I already own a lot of them. And again, I'm not going to get an acoustically transparent screen. It's going to be 165 inch. It's going to be 1.3 gain. Obviously, since I'm displaying it in such a big image, I needed a positive gain screen, and 1.3 gain it's again, I can get it for about $900 and something from Elite Screens, so I looked into that. Acoustically transparent screens typically have lower gain. You probably already saw if you've been following the channel, but I already bought my projector. I decided to go with the Epson 6050 UB in lieu of the newer options available by Epson, because I wanted to have the option for 3D. I have a whole video of it. I'll put a card up there if you're interested in checking out that video on the Epson. And I have multiple videos on the Emotiva amps if you're interested, and also put another card up there. But yeah, let's go throughout the room and I'll show you a little more detail what I'm planning. Yeah, I apologize for the noise. Again, that's 12 gauge wire here. And I think I can show you the 2 layers of drywall. You can see there's 1 layer and then there's supposed to be glue sandwiched in between them. Again, another layer of drywall behind it. So should be pretty good for, again, blocking as much sound as possible. And as you can see, there's just, you know, the wirings throughout. The wiring for the front stage is going to be down here, up and here by the baseboard as well. And I'm going to have lighting. I believe the ceiling speakers are, well, they were marked, but now you can't really see them because of all the dust. Yeah, there's a wide for the wides, one of the surrounds, another set of surrounds. And this is where everything ends up, which is pretty insane. You know, I really feel sorry for whoever has to deal with all these cables, but look at all of these cables that are leading into this room. Again, probably gonna have racks on each side because and there's even more cables on this side. Again, ton of cables. It's gonna be an endeavor just to get all this figured out and connected eventually. Again, there's a light up there. And we did add some conduit to get to the projector as well, which is might be useful in the future if for some reason there's some kind of HDMI upgrade and I got to run a new cable up to it, which is going to be good to have. You know, I honestly tried to think of everything in this room and tried to future-proof it as much as possible, but you really never know what could happen, and you know, it is what it is. Again, I'm running I think there's two dedicated circuits for power into this room. I think a total of 40 amps should be enough to power this theater. And I'm also going to be I'm going to be powering 3 other home theaters that are running elsewhere in the house so the amps are going to be residing in this closet as well. So it's going to be a pretty bitchin' rack situation. So I'm gonna keep this video short. Not much more to say other than we've covered soundproofing. Drywall work is still ongoing. I ran all the cables for here. You got a glimpse of all the cable that's going to be running into this AV closet. And yeah, progress is being made. This is a bit of an update for our family room home theater. As you can see, I'm gonna have 3 in-ceiling speakers. They're gonna be pointing at an angle in the front of the room. They're gonna have a set of Atmos in-ceilings in the middle there, and in the very corner over there, I'm gonna have 2 more speakers. And over here, I'm gonna have in-wall subwoofers on each side there. And obviously we still have to cut this 2x4 to get it to fit. But yeah, I thought we were gonna have in-room subwoofers in this room, but my wife, turns out she wanted in-walls. So hence this is sort of a last minute change. The kitchen, we got a couple more in-ceiling speakers here. So as you can see, we have cut the holes for the speakers in the rec room here, and that includes I'm actually going to do in-wall height speakers in here, and obviously those are going to be in-wall, pretty beefy big in-wall speakers, and I'm going to have obviously some heights in the back as well. So this is going to be a 5.2.4 system. The in-ceiling surrounds are right there as well. So this room is really coming together. And if you go in here, this is going to be like my listening room or my music room, you can say. I just got a couple of in-ceilings for Atmos in here, but not sure what I'm going to do with this room. So we finally got the wall color into the theater room, and I gotta say, I think we selected the perfect color. It's also going to be in the ceiling, I believe. So yeah, I got my wish super dark color in this theater. Kind of lost count, but I think this is about week 24-ish or week 30 of construction in this house, and you know we're getting close to that move-in date. Probably we're looking at May-ish to have that final move-in time. And as you can see, we got the final color. We decided to go with an extremely bright white because this is a basement, and we went with this color pretty much everywhere. We wanted a really bright house with, you know, we built this house to be extremely bright with a lot of windows. Same goes with the basement. The lighter the color on your walls, the brighter it's going to be in here. And it's actually, I think it's really cool and kind of sleek and modern looking. Behind me, we got the LCRs in here. These are again, DefTech. I'm gonna have my 82-inch Samsung TV in here, and it's going to be a pretty sweet setup, I have to admit. I decided to go with all our nothing but architectural speakers in this room. It includes some height speakers. I don't know if you can see them. They might be out of frame. Little height speakers are going to be like in walls. Again, these are all Definitive Technology speakers. I'll make another video in the future about talk about Definitive Technology speakers, where I think the brand is going, because I've been a fan for a long time. I remember back in the 90s, opening like Stereo Review magazine, and you know, I remember seeing like their advertisements like at the back with the massive tower speakers. And I always wanted a set of those. That was like my goal, was to get a pair of Definitive Technology Super Tower speakers. Back when they came out, I guess Definitive Technology was like a new kid on the block, you know, trying new things, trying employing their bipolar technology. And it was kind of like they're like the new kid on the block, and everybody was kind of into them. And they were relatively inexpensive, so you know, probably a lot of people got into that brand. Here's a bit of an update on in the theater room. Not very good lighting in here, but I do have some lighting, and it kind of gives you an idea of how dark it'll be when you got a movie playing. It's probably going to be pretty grainy, the video in here, but yeah, it's pretty dark. And the ceiling's the same color. Again, the doors are these super thick, well, I don't know if it's super thick, but they're thick, like specialized acoustic doors, and they're actually painted the same color as the walls too, which is nice. And if you go outside, they're painted, on the outside, they're painted like white. So one of the cool things, these doors are extremely heavy, and look at this, like the hinge system is the entire length of the door, just to hold it up. It's kind of distributing the weight. I've never seen a hinge like this. Maybe it's kind of common for this kind of door, but it's pretty robust and very strong looking. Obviously the same on the other side there. Same hinge system. And we got speakers up there. Here, let me see if I can shine my light on it. So we got some speakers here. These are actually Definitive Technology LCR speakers. So this is the kind of speaker you use for either side surrounds, or even just like your front speakers. And I have them as my ceiling speakers, which is pretty insane. Like, I got 6 of these things acting as my overheads. And the cool thing about these speakers is they have, if you look up there, they have like pivoting tweeters, so you can actually pivot the tweeter towards your listening position, which is awesome. And it even has some kind of switch for like adjusting the tweeter gain or something. Same over here. We got, these speakers are pretty sweet. I mean, I wanted to get something kind of special for my in-ceilings. I didn't want to get just your typical, in-ceiling speakers. So they look pretty awesome. Yeah, again, I'm using my cell phone light here. There's not a lot of light in here right now, but there has been a little bit of work done. Actually, don't even know what that is. Maybe something with the alarm system that's going in here. There's actually going to be a fan, and there's a switch. This is the switch that controls the fan, and I think I'm going to wire it into the. I put a smart switch on the control force system that's going to, you know, when you turn on something that uses some kind of equipment in this closet, then it'll automatically turn on the fan, so it's not like working all the time. But yeah, this is actually going to help a lot with the heat building up in here. I would highly recommend getting something like this if you don't have it, and it's actually feeding into a tube that's leading that way into the theater, like going outside. So I hope that's enough to control the heat in this room. And we know we got the baseboard is also the same color as the walls. I just love these speakers. Look so cool. I gotta show them again. Again, the pivoting tweeter. They are. I mean, when you look at them like over there,
And these things are gonna be really awesome. Like again, like people have these just for like their LCRs. I got them as my in-ceilings. Got a fantastic deal on them. I think I paid $200 each, which is a steal, honestly. Man, I got some excellent lighting in my, this is my office where I'm gonna have an 11 channel surround system. We got some speaker connections there, speaker binding posts to connect my, probably gonna get some towers to put there eventually. This room's sort of a low priority for me, so I'm just not really, I'll get to it when I get to it. More important for me to set up my home office, which is gonna be on this wall. Which I got an Ethernet jack down there, so I'm gonna have like my desk here, but I'm also gonna be, it's also gonna be like my primary like gaming room, even though I don't really game out much, but it's gonna have the second best surround system in the house. So a little update on the family room. We got the speakers up in the ceiling with all square grills. So that's done. That's the end of the update. If you have any questions about whatever's going on in this room, you have any comments on what I've showed you today, feel free to leave them in the comments. It'd be really great if you like and subscribe to the channel. It really helps a lot. And I'll see you in the next one.